Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, has opened 2024 public consultations for setting the annual new immigration levels plan. Immigration Minister Mark Miller will unveil the next multi-year immigration levels plan 2025 to 2027 this November, projecting the targeted number of new permanent residents who will be admitted to Canada in a given year. This is inclusive of any temporary resident that transitions to permanent residency in a particular year and does not necessarily mean that all of the new permanent residents will be coming from outside Canada. However, this year, for the first time ever, Canada is broadening the scope of the immigration levels plan to also include an annual target for the number of new temporary residents entering Canada, apart from the permanent residents. Therefore, IRCC is seeking public consultations from Canadian citizens, stakeholders, and immigration experts that will stay open until June 30th, 2024. Currently, Canada has a target of welcoming 485,000 new permanent residents in 2024 and then stabilizing the annual admissions at 500,000. Purpose of 2024 IRCC consultations on immigration levels. Since IRCC is now considering the upcoming 2025 to 2027 immigration levels plan, the department is looking for public feedback on establishing new goals for 2027 and decide whether the permanent resident admission targets for 2025 and 2026 should be modified. The following factors are taken into account when setting the annual immigration level plan. 1. Objectives for immigration as outlined in the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act, IRPA. 2. Government policies and priorities. 3. International commitments pertaining to refugees and giving assistance to those in need. 4. Economic and regional requirements across Canada, taking into account the demands of diverse industries in light of growing inflation and a loosened labor market. 5. The efficiency of IRCC and its relevant departments to process applications in a timely manner. 6. The ability to provide newcomers with resources, such as settlement services, affordable and accessible housing, public infrastructure, healthcare services, etc., and to help them integrate and settle. The immigration levels plan aims to safeguard Canadian safety and security while promoting diversity and fostering the development of lively, dynamic, and inclusive communities through immigration. Admissions have been rising steadily since 2017 and are expected to account for 1.25% of Canada's population by 2025. IRCC is also interested in hearing public opinions on the proper allocation of permanent resident numbers among the major immigration classes, as well as on how many people to welcome. This year, IRCC is also seeking public opinion for the first time regarding the arrival goals for temporary residents. The inclusion of international students and temporary workers will result in a plan that reflects newcomers with both permanent and temporary resident status, taking into account the supports required to welcome them into our communities. What are the current set immigration levels for 2024? On November 1, 2023, Canada announced annual immigration targets of welcoming 485,000 new permanent residents in 2024 and then stabilizing the numbers at 500,000 annually.
Our worker, and this is an important statistic, our worker to retiree ratio has dropped from 7 to 1 since I was born 50 years ago to nearly 3 to 1 now. If we don't welcome more newcomers, that number will approach 2 to 1 in the decades ahead, and that'll put our infrastructure and key programs like our healthcare and our education at risk. I'm pleased to share that Canada intends to maintain its target of welcoming 485,000 new permanent residents in 2024 and 500,000 in 2025. Starting in 2026, the number of newcomers we aim to welcome will stabilize at 500,000, allowing for a sustainable population growth. These immigration levels allow us to bring in the skills and talent we need to fill the labour gaps and ensure Canada's economic prosperities, help families reunite, and remain a leader in refugee resettlement. They're keeping us with our long-term focus on economic growth, with roughly 60% of the permanent resident admissions dedicated to the crucial economic class. We're also committed to expanding efforts with key federal departments to align governmental priorities in our planning efforts in order to account for our capacity to accept, including immigration that is having pressure on housing. This approach will lay the foundation for a more integrated planning and coordination as a country. While today's announcement is about permanent resident levels, a whole-of-government approach also means taking a close look at temporary resident immigration and making sure they align with our capacity to ensure sustainable growth. This is something we'll be looking at more intensely going forward.
These are the record annual immigration targets ever set in Canadian history. How do I participate in this public consultation? You can fill out the online survey set up by the Immigration Department by visiting the link Online Survey. The link is in the description. As per the Immigration Department, the survey may not save the draft responses when you use the online survey, so you can create your answers beforehand by downloading the online survey, PDF 213 kilobytes. This link is also in the description. The public consultation began on May 8th and will stay open until June 30th, 2024. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share this information. I appreciate you.